Okay, not sure where it ended. Hopefully not too. We didn't miss too much. So if we're going to do that A here, regular old A, if we're going to do the A, we could do it an octave up, but we can't do it on the open. So what do? We use a long pattern. We was talking about the S3XL and the S4L. We would use the long pattern there. Okay, so where is our long pattern here? Let's get that back up there. Wow, we got a lot of stuff on the image file here. So we're looking at that A shape here, and this is our fret nut right here. These are the open strings. Again, this would be the fret nut here, and the open strings, the labels are actually past that fret nut in music box land. So here's the fret nut, and the labels are actually past the fret nut. So we would play the 5, 6, 7. There's root. Now if we can get the 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're pretty much covered. We didn't move. The good thing about Chart 200, and it really is a great coincidence, because it's a milestone in chart making, and wow, this is the first time I've really focused on and became conscientious of not just taking us straight away from the fret nut like we see some patterns do on this side. So these patterns aren't exactly what's going on the left. It's the same shape, G. This would be the G shape here. This would be your fret nut, okay? But this pattern particularly just takes the G away from the fret nut. So in this case, it would be something like with that G shape. E would become the sixth. So we're just going to do the top half of an S4L into an S5L, an S3L rather, and then not a G shape, but the next shape up from G in caged is C-A-G-E. So we're going to do a single string E shape because we moved away from that fret nut into the next cage with those long patterns. So we're going to play, let's play the chord first. So it'd be the G chord. And we have an S4L on the bottom here, top half though. So the top half goes to the right. And then we got like that. Now we're going to warp up the next one. Okay, that brought us into the E zone. 7 root 2. Okay, so that's F sharp G A. So that brought us away from the fret nut, but that was still our G. So if we were playing this E shape there, see how that's an E shape? It brings us into the next one. We could do that shape again. Okay, but over on the left here, and this is where it becomes fun with Andy's free guitar charts. What happened? What did I do? What did my conscience tell me consciously to do about having these patterns bring us away? Okay, that's fine. We can bring the patterns away, But did you know you could start an S5L, S3L over here on the A shape? See how it starts on the 5? And then it ends on 5-6, the S3XL right here. And you could just start another X3XL there. You see how it just takes us away, and we kind of lose control over the structure of the caged, where we're playing in one place. I mean, we see a lot of people going like just this and back and forth, and that's okay. It's okay, but maybe we're losing a little time there. Maybe it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe we could just play here at first, before we decide to go up here, like play our way there, instead of jumping like that with a pattern so quickly. Well, anyway, to keep it in the structure of the cage positions and whatnot, and I'm not a structure freak, I just want to know where I am and what I'm doing. So I make this pattern, and I made sure that the pattern didn't just take me away. So I didn't go into from the S3XL. The A is perfect. It has the S3XL on the bottom. Why? Because when you play an A, E becomes the fifth of that A. Okay, 4, 4, 5. That 4 shouldn't have been. That's what it should have been. So E becomes the fifth of that A. So we can play the pattern that starts on the 5 right there. We can play that. I forgot what I was talking about. But we want to we want to exploit. I wanted to give you people patterns that allow you to play these open strings. For people who like to play open strings. So if you play an A here, you got a 5-6 on top. Okay? And you have, and what that becomes, now let's just look at this. This is a special case. We'll talk about it. We have a split ED string shape super long. That's 7 root 2 3 4. And in any pattern stack, in the long pattern stacks, or a double string shape pattern stack. So this has got 2 string shapes. See, each of these letters is a string shape, and it also represents the bottom string of a caged position. So this would be the A position, this would be the G position. Okay, and then we could just shorten it and say, okay, it's a string shape. It's not the whole position there. So when we're looking at the super long one is actually here. 7 root 2 3 4. Why? Because it's 2 positions, the E and the D position, string shape rather, but the 7 and the root are not contained within the interval of, say, like 3 to 5 has a 4 in it, okay, or the interval of 6 to root has a 7, but it's in between, it's contained within. In the E and the D, it's only on the outside of the double string shape, so it's the longest one. Right there, it's the super long one, the ED. So the only way I could really explain this would be that we have a super ED, super long, but it's split. It goes 7 root 2 3 4. We've started it here and we're going to finish it here, even though this is a D string shape, 2 3 4. It's just it's the 7 and the root has to be connected to something. We can't have like just this guy on a string. So that's the way I looked at that.